In the world of One Piece, there are a lot of different and interesting character designs, so I thought it would be a fun idea to sit down with my brother, someone who hasn't watched any anime other than Dragon Ball Z, to get his take on who he thinks the strongest character in One Piece is, based only off how they look. I set up a randomly seeded One Piece character tournament bracket so that I can find out who the strongest looking One Piece character is. And then each round I'll be giving him a little bit more information on their remaining characters. The first round obviously just their character design, the second round what their nicknames are, third round what their position is, fourth round what their powers are, and then in the final round what their greatest feat is according to me.
I'm so down. I'm so ready. Coming in blind, but I'm here for it.
I also did this exact same tier list just to see how our picks differ at the end because I feel like that would be kind of cool.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, first up we have Akainu and Marshall D. Teach.
Okay. Kind of looks like a boss. Looks like he knows what he's doing. Oh man, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, these are kind of opposite ends of the spectrum because this other guy is very like formal and this other dude is super pirate kind of.
Yeah, piratey. Yep, got in him and some rum. Okay, my first impression is Marshall D. Teach looks a bit more unhinged than Akainu. Is it Akainu, right? You said?
Yeah. That's definitely fair. They're both pretty unhinged.
Yeah,
that's
but
definitely fair.
And then Akainu looks still kind of like he means business, but definitely looks like he's seen some stuff. So, man, yeah, that's a tough go around. I'm gonna go with Akainu just because he looks like he means a little bit more business and might be a little bit more level-headed than each, but that could be an advantage to Marshall D. Teach. I don't know, but I think I'm gonna go with Akainu because he looks a little bit more stoic and like he knows what he's doing, like he knows what he's gonna do.
Personally, I feel like that one could have gone either way. So I feel like either choice was fair for that one.
The side one, nice.
Next one we got Charlotte Linlin and Jinbei.
Jinbei and Charlotte Linlin. Okay, yeah. So. Okay. So Charlotte is definitely a character for sure.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is the umbrella? It looks like a hamburger bun.
Kinda, yeah. She's all about like food and stuff. So a lot of her like things are like food related.
Gotcha. And then, but who was the other guy on the left?
Jinbei. He's like a fish person.
Jinbei. Yeah, he looks definitely. He kind of like reminds me of Japanese with the little kimono and the sandals. Honestly, I'm gonna go with Charlotte because she looks pretty intense.
That's fair.
I think she looks like she knows a thing or two, and not taking away from the other guy, but it looks like she's got a couple screws loose, and I love that about her. So
she's got that tough shoulder tat too. Yeah, so for sure.
Right? Yeah, got some.
Eustace Kid is on the left, and then Arlong is on the right. Arlong is another fish person.
Yeah, it looks like they have like, do the fish people have sun tattoos like on their chest area? That's what the other guy looked like he had too.
Yeah, most of them have sun tattoos. It's like a whole like lore thing that I can explain a little bit later too. But yeah.
Yeah. So and then who's the guy on the left again?
Eustace Kid. Yeah.
Eustace Kid.
Yeah.
So he definitely has a bionic arm, so that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
But he has a saw nose, it looks like. So it's like, okay.
But
I'm gonna go Kid. Yeah. So Kid looks like, not taking away from Bro on the right, but Kid looks like he is seen some battles and would I think he'd win. I'm going him.
Kid Wild's out for sure. Don Quixote, Doflamingo, and then we have Magellan. I think this is.
Bro looks like a Dark Lord.
I think this is his manga picture.
Okay, this is gonna be a tough one because they both look like some wild boys.
Yeah, they're
one
both.
Guy looks like
shit, man, for sure.
Yeah. So all right, so we have. So yeah, okay. So he looks like, and some of those other pictures too, it looks like he was laughing pretty manically. So looks like he might be a little wild boy, but definitely got some swag. It's a tough one. So who's the guy on the left again? What's his name?
Magellan.
Magellan. Okay, so is that inspired by the Explorer Magellan?
Yeah. A lot of these guys are like based off of like their names are based off of like real explorers / pirates and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, so he looks like he is definitely a ruler and wants to be in charge. Man, that's gonna be tough. And he has like a steel wing. Oh Lord.
Yeah, I didn't even notice
Um,
his wings before,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. So that and like, all right, so a little more regal, but I'm gonna go with Flamingo. He just looks a little bit more unhinged, and not taking away from Magellan, but he looks like he could wild out on some people for sure.
For sure. Doflamingo, I feel that.
Yep, I'm gonna pick him.
Let me see if I can find like a more recent Roger. He's very like he definitely stays with his like traditional kind of pirate getup,
Yeah, for sure.
you know?
Yeah. All right. um. All right. What's the name of the guy on the right again?
That's Ivankov. Emporio Ivankov, I guess.
And the other one's Gold D. Roger. You said.
Yeah, Gold D Roger.
All right. I'm getting crazy vibes from Ivankov, but not in the best way. So I
That's
think
fair.
I think I'm gonna go a little more traditional with this round and pick Gold D. Roger because Ivankov's giving me the creeps a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fair. It took me a couple of episodes to get used to Ivankov.
Yeah, I'll pick Gold D. Roger. He looks like he's got some tricks
Solid.
up his sleeve too.
That's definitely fair. Definitely fair. This is another pretty traditional pirate-looking man. His name is Shanks.
Hair Shanks.
Yeah.
Shanks. Okay.
Trafalgar Law. A bunch of wild names in this show, also.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's cool. It adds some. All right, so we have Shanks, and then
Law.
this guy's what's his name? Law. Okay, so
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of like what's his name in Will Turner in like Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's like normal looking dude, but he'll slay. You know what I mean? Like he'll throw down. Reserved, but doesn't have crazy tats or crazy things. Got a scar on his eye. Honestly, Law, they kind of look like they could be like related a little bit in
That's
the
true.
face, but
I don't know if this helps or helps less, but the arm that's covered on Shanks, he's missing that arm.
okay. So that is what I was gonna ask. So it does look like he was missing that arm. But Law has both arms. I can see.
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like.
He's got both.
Ooh. Okay.
There's also a
Okay.
classic Law. I think this is when we first meet him in this.
Yeah. Okay. So they both look fairly normal.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say they're both pretty chill guys.
Kind of looks like, yeah. So Law I think I'm gonna go with Shanks just because he looks like he's been through a bit more with the scar on his eye and missing an arm.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think I'm gonna go with him, and yeah, I think I'm gonna rock with that. That'll be my answer.
Solid Shanks. Got Buggy.
Okay. Is he like a clown type?
Correct.
Like, you know what I mean?
He's Buggy the clown. Yeah.
Get a clown. Amazing.
We got Sanji.
Sanji.
Vinsmoke Sanji. Typically he's wearing like a full-blown suit, but I guess in this picture they caught him
Okay.
just wearing his.
Normal clothes.
Yeah.
So off rip, Buggy looks more menacing because he's got the like Freddy Krueger blades coming out on his hands.
Yeah.
And usually, if anyone is like a clown, they are pretty crazy.
Yeah. Very like Joker and stuff.
But
Let's see if there's a.
like Joker-ish. He
This
looks pretty
is-
angry in some of those pics too.
This is a good Buggy the post time skip.
Okay,
Kinda
yeah.
weird.
He's definitely been through some stuff for sure. Sanji looks pretty pretty stoic, like he's like a cool guy, but I feel like sometimes those guys are more powerful than they appear to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, so I'm at a crossroads here because I wanna say Buggy, but I'm gonna say Sanji and just take the leap that he is way more lethal than he looks in the pictures you're showing me.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna take a gamble. I'm gonna go Sanji. No disrespect to Buggy. He's definitely on some stuff, but this is my like upset round in my mind right now.
I feel you. People are gonna be pissed. Buggy number 1.
Is he?
I don't know.
Sorry,
No,
guys.
people just like Buggy.
Yeah, I mean he's cool. I like him too, but I mean I'm probably gonna kick myself too when we go back over it.
I feel you. This is our man Sengoku
Cool. Okay.
Dracula Mihawk.
Dracula Mihawk.
So on the left is
Right.
Mihawk, on the right we have Sengoku.
Goku. So he was a Marine. Obviously, looks like or like an army dude, right?
Yeah.
Military guy, and then Does Mihawk have an arm? I don't know. I
Oh
can't see
yeah,
it.
he does. It's just a weird picture.
Okay, he's just holding the sword probably.
Yeah, see.
That's a huge sword too.
Yeah, he's got it's a giant sword.
Okay. Just based off of vibes, I kind of like, I kind of like, uh, I kind of like Mihawk. He just looks a little bit more like, I don't know. I don't want to say lethal again, but because the other guy, if he's in the Marines, he means business. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Mihawk because I like his sword and
He's just got
I
that
like his
shit
stats.
on too, you know.
Right? Yeah, he's got that shit on, man.
Yeah, for sure. He's very like Spaniard, I feel like.
He looks definitely, yeah, like the beard and mustache combo,
Yeah.
like a conqueror, you know, a conquistador type.
Yeah, for sure. You might recognize our friend here.
Oh yeah, he's like the OG. He's the
Yeah,
guy, right?
He's the main character, yeah. So this would be Rayleigh when he was like chilling in
His
his
prime?
own, yeah, in his own prime.
Okay. Oh yeah, you know, definitely getting active. But of the main character again,
Luffy.
Luffy. I feel like Rayleigh definitely has some like I'm getting like Master Roshi vibes from him. You know what I mean? Like he did his thing and he's still powerful as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like I can't not pick Luffy just because he's the main character.
Yeah.
Pick Luffy, but I like Rayleigh. He looks pretty bossed, so I'll keep him in mind. But I'm gonna pick Luffy for sure.
This is Boa Hancock.
Which she has like a snake, yeah, cause
Yeah.
Boa, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got
Rob Lucci,
Rob Lucci.
Italian mobster.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Rob.
Has he got a little like bird on his shoulder?
Yeah, funnily, he kind of went undercover for a little bit, and while he was doing that, he's kind of like a no-nonsense guy, so, like, while he was
Yeah.
undercover, like, the bird just spoke for him, and he just didn't speak at all because he didn't feel like doing that shit.
Damn. Okay. So, oh man, yeah. So Rob Lucci's definitely giving mobster vibes, but the snake of that Boa has is
There's another Rob.
oh damn, yeah. He's got hella swag.
He's pretty much always in a suit, I think.
Let me see another picture of Boa if you can find it for one of her too. Let me just see.
This is another one.
Like, oh man, the snake looks pretty deadly. That she has, but the other guy looks like a boss. And this one's tough. I think both of them are equally mean business.
I think this one was tough for me to choose as well.
Was it? Okay. I think. Oh man, I'm gonna show some love to Boa. I'm gonna pick Boa.
All right, we got Edward Newgate.
Oh hell yeah.
Full transparency, one of my favorite characters. We got him fighting Kaido.
Oh man, this one's gonna be tough.
Yeah, this one's
I can already tell.
This one's a little nuts.
So yeah, Kaido on the left, and then who on the right again?
Edward Newgate.
Newgate. Damn, they both look like some warriors.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, this is probably the hardest one so far for me.
Yeah, these guys like it doesn't help
They
if they
both-
look pretty similar too.
Saying yeah, because they're both like macho warrior.
Yeah, like big tough dudes.
The dude had like Kaido has horns though. He definitely looks more
I-
like, evil.
I think he's an ogre.
Is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think it's like part of his like race.
So what is the staff that Newgate's holding? Like, is it
Oh, it's like
what's
a-
at the top there?
It's like a
metal?
it's like a spear glaive type of thing,
Oh, okay.
like that.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
yeah.
And then I don't know if you clocked it, but the coat he's wearing is like a marine coat that he's like won off of a marine officer, I think,
He killed a marine officer and took his coat.
or some shit like that. Because
Like,
he's definitely a
yeah.
pirate. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell for sure. Man, but Kaido looks like he came from the depths, bro. Like,
For real. I don't know.
Wait,
This is what he looked like in his early years with the blonde locks.
okay. Is that a mustache or is that like
That's a mustache.
a bone? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is tough. Let me see one more picture of Kaido.
Kaido, for sure.
Kaido, yeah. Sword is pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
Stuff coming off of it.
Oh, it's not a sword. It's more of like a. What am I trying? It's like
Is
a
it like
club.
like a shadow? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big spiky.
Damn, okay.
Like,
Club. Man, all right. So, I think I'm gonna go with Newgate. Just
Newgate.
because, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with him just because he seems like, or Kaido, I don't know. I don't really have an explanation, but I think I'm just gonna go with Newgate. He looks like he's got a little bit more to offer.
So this is Luffy's grandpa,
Okay.
and then so this is what Aokiji looks like now. I'll also give you a picture of him pre-time skip though.
Okay. So his name's Aokiji.
Yeah.
And then who's the guy on the left again? What's his name?
Garp.
Garp.
Maybe I can find a picture of a young Garp.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Okay.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one actually is pretty easy. I think I'm gonna go with Garp. He just he looks a little bit more like a classic guy, and like he's definitely held his own in life.
Yeah, like an old war hero, kinda.
Right? Yeah, like everyone kind of respects him because he's been through the shit. Like there's
Yeah.
like tales about him or whatever, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go Garp on that guy.
Monkey D. Garp.
KD Garp, baby.
He's got. This is another character that kind of has that shit on. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, he's a classic man.
This is Charlotte Linlin's second son, Katakuri.
Oh damn.
of the
Looks
other-
like yeah, he's definitely got some sharpness going on. Yeah, I'm gonna go just straight off the vibes in this picture. I'm going on the guy on the left. What is
Katakuri.
Curry? I'm gonna go with him. He's got the spear. He's got the spurs. He's got all the spikes on him.
He definitely
I'm gonna
looks.
go with him.
He definitely looks a little more badass than Kizaru over here.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Crocodile and Fujitora.
Crocodile, Fujitora,
I forgot his name was Isho.
Isho.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Or all right, so Croc or the other guy was what?
Fujitora.
Fujitora.
And yes, he is blind.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna go. This is tough, man. I think I'm gonna go with Fujitora, just because anybody who's blind and also like still
Fighting?
like beating ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
for
sure.
sure.
Have something special going on.
For sure.
I'm gonna go Fujitora.
Hell yeah, Fujitora's cool. Fujitora, I think he said that he blinded himself because he didn't want to see the evils in the world anymore. And that shit went crazy
love that.
a little bit when he said that.
Yeah, right.
Alright.
Gamoria or
Zoro.
Zoro. Okay. Does he have 3 different swords, Zoro?
Yeah.
Okay. Or all right. I'm gonna go Zoro just because anyone with 3 swords knows what they're doing because one probably means something different than the other. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Zoro.
yeah. He puts the third one in his mouth.
Ah, okay. Hell yeah.
Now we got Sabo, and I don't believe he has like a last name. And then we got Capone Beji on the left.
Capone Reggie, you said?
Beji.
Capone, Beji, and Sabo. So I'm trying to see just real quick. So Capone, obviously, you know, mob boss Capone, right? So
100%.
he looks like Sabo. All right, I think I'm gonna go with Sabo only because the vibe I'm getting from Capone is like he has other people do his dirty work for him. So that's my rationale just based off of the pictures.
Alright, now we're in the second round. Got Akainu again.
I knew. All right.
And then we got Charlotte Linlin. I think this might be a new picture. Alright, so Linlin's nickname is Big Mom. And I don't. Does Akainu have a nickname? I guess Akainu means red dog.
Red dog. Okay.
So he's the red dog,
Red
and she's
dog
the big
or-
mom.
Big mom. Go with Akainu because Red Dog sounds pretty badass. Kind of reminds me of like a wolf. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll have him beating out Lin for sure.
Yeah, Big Mom's entire crew are all of her children.
That makes sense. That makes sense why she's Big Mom.
Yeah, she's got like a fuck ton of kids.
Putting the team on her back.
Back with Kid and Doflamingo. So, I mean, I don't know if this is technically a nickname, but he's Eustace Captain Kid, and then Doflamingo's nickname is the Heavenly Demon.
Heavenly Demon. Oh
Captain.
man. Oh man. That's tough. I think so. Captain Kid looks a bit more lethal. Man, yeah, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna choose Doflamingo because the Heavenly Demon is a pretty badass nickname.
That's fair. That's
I'm gonna do that one. Yep.
completely reasonable.
I'm rocking with Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Goldie Roger versus Shanks.
Shanks.
So you saw before Shanks is nicknamed as Red Hair Shanks because he genuinely has red hair. And this one might be a tough one to beat based off of nickname alone. Gold Roger's nickname is the King of the Pirates.
Oh man. I feel like Goldie Roger, he looks like more imposing, but something about red hair Shanks, it seems like he's got some crazy lore to his life. But King of the Pirates is tough. So if you're King of the Pirates, you know what you're doing. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with Shanks because he seems like a badass. So I'll have him. Yeah, I'm gonna have him edging out D Raja.
You were saying it seems like Shanks has some cool lore. You and everyone who watches this show is still waiting to hear about what that fucking lore is, to be honest with you.
No way.
He's been in the show since like the first episode, and it's like it's not that we've gotten like so little of him, but it's like he's just such a mystery still.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see that too. Still making One Piece, like new episodes.
Yeah. So I guess for reference, I've only watched up until I've watched like a little bit of not Punk Hazard, fucking what's it called? The Vegapunk season. I'm forgetting what the arc is called. Just past.
There's like 1,000 episodes or something, right?
I think it's past 1,100 now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, wow. And Sanji is fighting
Mihawk. Do they have nicknames though?
Oh shit. So Mihawk is the world's greatest swordsman, I believe.
Okay, I could see that.
Blackleg Sanji.
Blackleg Sanji. Or I'm just gonna go. I think I know off rip here. I'm gonna go with Dracule.
Dracule.
You can't be the world's greatest swordsman and I take some names. So I'm going him.
Oh, this is a wild ass fucking matchup too, I'm not gonna lie. Boa Hancock, the Snake Empress. She's the Snake Princess, or the Snake Empress.
Princess.
And then Luffy would be... He has a lot of nicknames because he's the main character. Straw Hat.
Yeah. Straw Hat.
I'll also toss in Joy Boy, because Joy Boy is like his main one for right now.
Alright. I really like the snake because it's got like a skull on its head and stuff, so they definitely take some names. But I feel like you can't against Luffy, considering he's like obviously the main character.
He's that guy.
That guy. So I might have to go Luffy just because I know he's the guy. That won't be my rationale every round, but I think Boa doesn't have the aura to overtake him at the moment right now, so I think I'm gonna stick with Luffy.
That's fair. Fun little lore for that matchup. Boa Hancock is like irrefutably in love with Luffy.
Oh really?
Yeah. And Luffy's kind of just like doesn't really realize it.
He's oblivious.
He's like, oh okay.
Like I got other shit to do.
Garp the Fist. He's also the hero of the Marines. And then
oh man,
Whitebeard. He's the man closest to the One Piece and the strongest man in the world.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
A tough one, bro. Oh man. All right, so we have like King of the Marines basically, or
yeah, he's like the Marines dude. He's like their guy.
Marines guy, yeah. Fuck. Damn, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with Whitebeard, Newgate, just because you can't be labeled the strongest man in the world and not. I don't care if you're the king of the Marines or the Marine guy.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah,
I'm going Newgate. I'm snapping it in.
Yeah, Whitebeard's the strongest man. You can't beat him.
Sure.
Apparently, Fujitora translates to the Wisteria tiger.
Okay.
Katakuri. Apparently, his alternative nickname is Dogtooth.
Dogtooth.
I guess so.
Okay. So, all right. I love the fact that is it Fujitora? Is that his name?
Yes.
I love the fact that he's blind and that he did it to himself, because that means business. But I love the vibe from Katakuri.
Yeah.
I love the vibe from him. He just looks biker gang, obviously killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No nonsense.
Yeah, but Fujitora is like traditional. You know what I mean? So it's like that's tough. I'm gonna go with Katakuri just because I like his vibe a little bit more, and Dogtooth's a pretty sick nickname.
Does Sabo have a nickname? He's the Flame Emperor.
Flame Emperor.
Pirate Hunter Zoro.
What was it? Flame what?
Flame Emperor versus the Pirate
Flame
Hunter.
Emperor. Man, this is I feel like this would be a pretty good matchup.
I think so too.
Yeah. They both look able. They've been through some stuff. Flame Emperor is pretty badass. But I love the fact that Zoro has 3 swords, and like you said, he holds one in his mouth. That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna go with Zoro. I think he'll take the cake against the Flame Emperor.
That's fair. I think he might be able to cut flames.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that would make sense then.
All right, we got Akainu and Doflamingo, and then this is a new round. So Akainu used to be a Marine Admiral, which is the second highest you can be, and then after the time skip, he got promoted to Fleet Admiral, which is the highest position you can be in the Marines. And then Doflamingo is the captain of his crew.
Oh man. All right, man. Yeah, this is a. He just looks crazy. You know what I mean? Like
He's fucking nuts, dude.
laughing wild and just like
Yeah, for real.
unhinged. But you can't be Admiral of the Marines or Admiral of the Fleet if you're not.
I think Doflamingo technically has another title. He's one of the 7 warlords of the sea, which are pirates that are employed by the government so that like their bounty is taken away, and they kind of like help out when they need them to help out. If that makes sense.
Damn. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Doflamingo just because he looks wild, like just unhinged and stuff like that. But I respect the shit out of Akainu, and I feel like he. Oh man, no wait, hang on. This is tough. Is he like yeah, man? Because he's like he's a boss. He's obviously Marine, so he's lethal in his own way. Man,
He's just always got that like Joker smile on.
right. But sometimes that can be like a fault too, you know.
For sure.
I'm going Doflamingo. That's gonna be I'm gonna lock it in.
Yeah, look at that man.
He's
He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm going with Flamingo, baby.
Hell yeah. Dofi.
Lock me in there.
Doflamingo made his way to the semifinals.
Semifinals.
We got Mihawk and Shanks.
Mihawk and Shanks.
Mihawk is also the captain of his own ship, and he is also one of the 7 warlords of the sea. But further explanation on his position is that he's also the only member of his pirate crew because he's just that tough.
A little Dolo action. He's like, I can rely on myself.
Yeah, I don't need this. He like sails in like a little tiny like one person like boat that like doesn't even look like a boat.
Nice.
And then Shanks is also the captain of his ship. He's also one of the 4 pirate emperors, which are like equivalent to like the admirals and fleet admirals of the Marines.
Ooh, man, that's tough. Actually, maybe not so tough because I think Dracul is pretty badass. Just especially since you said he's his own crew, so it's like
Yeah, world's greatest swordsman, own crew.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm going with Dracul. He's a badass. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Rolling them seas.
Like I said earlier, I think these Shanks and Mihawk are like rivals. So
Yeah, that's cool.
That one could go either way.
Right?
We got our man Whitebeard back here again,
Okay.
fighting the main character of the show, Monkey D.
Oh
Luffy.
man, this is gonna be a tough one.
So Luffy's obviously the leader of his crew. He's the captain. But he's also like the leader of like a fleet of pirates that like have like 2,000 people in it.
Okay.
And then Whitebeard
Respected.
is also the captain of his crew. And then he is also one of the 4 emperors. Oh, actually,
Okay.
I think Luffy's an emperor now too.
Is he?
I think so.
Oh man,
I think that's a recent thing.
I might throw a wrench in my plans. Let's see.
Yeah, so I think they're like on equal footing title-wise.
Right, yeah. See, Luffy being the main character has some edge to him. I think I'm gonna go with Whitebeard, I think. Even though I know Luffy is like the guy and he probably would win, but I like the vibes I'm getting from Whitebeard just cause he looks like a freaking badass.
Yeah, he just looks like he commands more power.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Luffy, like especially, I mean, he has a crew of 2,000. Like obviously, he's like the guy and he's an emperor, but he probably has some crew to back him up too as well. But not saying Whitebeard doesn't, but
Yeah.
And if you're just going strictly one-on-one, I think I'm gonna go with Whitebeard. He looks like he's got some shit going.
To be fair, I think Whitebeard's like fleet of pirate ships is like pretty like similar to that size as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
We got Katakuri versus Zoro. Zoro is Luffy's first mate. He's the swordsman of the group. And then, honestly, pretty good matchup. Katakuri is also, I believe, the like second in command of the Big Mom pirates.
Okay. Yeah, they both look like they evenly matched.
This is what his mouth looks like. He's kind of got some fangs going on.
Yeah. Just can I ask what the purpose of the like the shawl around his neck is? Or
It's
is it just like a
it
fashion thing?
it's to hide his mouth because he's a little embarrassed about it.
Oh, gotcha. I'm gonna go with Katakuri because he's got that shit on, and I
Um,
like the shawl and stuff. It's pretty mysterious.
It's true.
But Zoro, I mean, that picture you had of Zoro was pretty badass too, so it's tough. But
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go Katakuri. He's been my guy.
that's solid. Category's cool as hell.
Right,
All right,
semis.
semis. We got Mihawk versus Doflamingo.
Probably gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, honestly. Some like the character design on these two characters like kind of goes a little crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see if I can get a picture of his boat. This is literally how he goes sailing around.
That is awesome.
He's just like chilling by himself.
Oh yeah.
It's like sticks his sword out and like cuts ships in half.
Right.
And shit. So now we get to finally learn their powers. I honestly don't know if Mihawk has a special ability other than just being a ridiculous swordsman. He like can coat his blades in like a hardening type of material. Doflamingo has the power to control strings, which sounds kind of random.
Strings?
Yeah, strings. Like the thing coming out of
Okay.
his finger there is a string.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like it sounds kind of random, but like he can use it. He can like kind of like Spider-Man swing places by like whipping them to like clouds. He can attach it to a cloud and like fly by just pulling himself. He can like attach them to humans and essentially control them like puppets. He's like a puppet master type of deal.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the ability to create and control and manipulate strings, he's also shown to have awakened this devil fruit, which allows him to transform his surroundings into strings.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he can kind of use them as like whips too to like attack and
Yeah.
stuff.
So he seems like he has a little bit more power, but then, like you said, Mihawk is just like a badass
Yeah.
swordsman. You know what I mean? And like
Mihawk.
that takes no shit and just like a lone rider.
Let me see if I'm wrong, because I think it's just like he's like dedicated his whole life to swordsmanship that he's just really good at it.
Yeah, that's the only thing he does.
I think that's kind of his thing. Strongest swordsman in the world. Kind of really looks like it's just that guy with the sword.
I want to keep it simple because I like Mihawk because he seems like a badass with all just like strongest swordsman in the world. But I've never actually heard of a superpower that is like strings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty cool. But then it's like, can you cut through strings though? You know, can he cut through strings? So that's
Yeah.
like, you know, so it's like that could be, but I don't know how strong those strings are and all that kind of thing. But
While Doflamingo was like while he was being the main antagonist in his arc, he created like a bird cage. He like put a bunch of like really thick, strong strings into the air and like surrounded his island in like a bird cage type of thing. And Zoro couldn't cut through those. And Zoro was like a pretty
Okay.
tough swordsman.
all right. Given that info, I think I'm gonna go with Doflamingo just because that's a pretty unique superpower, and with already how crazy he is, I feel like that's pretty badass that he can do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Doflamingo to the championship.
Hell
Lock
yeah.
it in.
I wish I could give you more feats from Mihawk, but he's not like on screen all that often.
Yeah.
Whitebeard versus Katakuri.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a tough one.
So Whitebeard. So he has the power. He ate the tremor fruit, so he can create like earthquakes. And in a world that's comprised like almost entirely of ocean water, he can create like tsunamis by creating a tremor, you know, creating a gigantic
sick.
fucking massive wave. And then Katakuri over here, he's made out of mochi. He ate the mochi fruit, and he can turn his body into mochi, like the food.
So he's made of mochi.
Yeah, he made a mochi.
Okay.
So
So
he kind of uses it to like stretch out his body and like
Okay.
attack at a range, kind of, if that makes sense. The only time we really see him fight is when he's fighting Luffy, and Luffy has like stretchy powers, and he just uses
Yeah.
his mochi to like replicate Luffy's
Gotcha.
stretchy powers to kind of put him in his place, being like, I can do that too.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Not bad, but
kind of
being
random.
able to create earthquakes is badass as hell.
One more thing for Katakuri though, there's a thing in the world called hockey, and like one of the types of it is observation hockey, which is just like being very well aware of your surroundings. And Katakuri has trained his observation hockey so well that he can see like 2 or 3 seconds into the future.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, that makes it tough. Damn.
Is him kind of using his stuff.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Mochi not allow him to get shot, basically. Is that what I'm looking at
So,
right now?
kind of. What he's doing is he's using his future sight to see where the bullets are going and turn that part of his
Oh.
body into mochi so it doesn't hurt him.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. So everyone thinks that it's like, oh, the mochi is making him invincible, but like he's like looking into the future and essentially dodging.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
got Whitebeard over here. So he literally just like kind of punches the air.
It's like breaking the atmosphere.
Literally, yeah. And it's just like,
That's
and it creates
Crack
just like
the air.
a giant tsunami.
pretty sick. So, damn. Okay. So, seeing how the Mochi works with his future vision is pretty sweet. Like, that's pretty awesome. It's like tactical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Whitebeard being able to just crack the air is like just brutal force. This is a tough one.
Yeah, this one's
This
pretty
is a tough
tough.
one.
This one's a pretty tough matchup.
Oh man, yeah, this is probably the toughest one so far.
Yeah, they even have like pretty similar weapons too.
Yeah, I'm trying to, man. All right, I think I'm gonna go with Whitebeard just because cracking the atmosphere to create a tsunami is insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I can respect the Mochi and like future sight thing, but I feel like that could have a little bit more limits. So I'm going Whitebeard. Yeah, I'm rocking with it.
Solid. All right, so we're in the finals with Doflamingo versus Whitebeard.
Oh man.
I'd argue that Whitebeard's strongest quality in this matchup is that he is the rival and like pretty on par skill wise to the King of the Pirates. Like they're like kind of the guys, you know, like they're like the tough dudes
Yeah.
of their time. Doflamingo, he created a gigantic underground empire. He manipulated and controlled thousands of people at the same time with his string power. Oh, I guess that's a fucking good one. He literally took over the kingdom that he like rules by turning everybody against their king, and he like controlled the king and all of the king's like army to literally start slaughtering all of the citizens on the island so that they thought that he like turned on
shit.
them. So yeah, he's like a very manipulative, crazy, like, oh, I'm gonna make a plan kind of guy.
Right.
And
Damn. All right. So it's like brute force versus manipulative strategy type deal.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Damn.
Whitebeard's
Oh,
a
man.
pretty good dude. He's like, his whole thing is that he just wanted to have like a family, so he calls all of his crewmates like his sons.
Oh Lord. It's an interesting dichotomy, too. Oh, both different spectrums. Damn. All right. I think even though he's a villain, I think manipulating thousands of people to take over an island is pretty insane. But
crazy.
at the same time, yeah, you know, but Whitebeard is just such a badass.
Oh yeah, I guess another part for Whitebeard would be one of his crewmates got captured and was getting like put to execution, and he just like rolled up in front of the entire world government and like kind of declared war on them.
He's like, I'll declare war on the world before one of my dudes goes.
Pretty much.
Oh man, this is a tough one. Oh man. All right, so I think my final decision on who I think will be the winner here is going to be Whitebeard. I think I'm gonna pick Whitebeard as the champion.
Whitebeard.
I think so. Yeah, he looks like he's the guy. Doflamingo, he was holding his cards right, but at the end of the day, yeah, Whitebeard is
Hell yeah.
freaking badass. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna choose him.
Yeah, Whitebeard's solid, man. So Whitebeard is a very, very solid pick. I think Whitebeard
Yeah.
ended up being my number 2.
Was it?
Yeah, he's tough
Oh,
as hell,
man.
man. He's tough, dude. Just on merit of Whitebeard winning, I gotta show you this shit. It's crazy. So Whitebeard is dead.
No.
He's tough as fuck though. He was like
Yeah.
he was like pretty sick like going into that last battle, but
Yeah.
fucking Whitebeard like as he died stood there.
Did he go out like a freaking badass?
So this is him dead. He's standing straight
Oh,
up
man.
dead. What did even the narrator say? Because it went so fucking hard, dude. It was crazy.
Did it?
Because dude, just like even the narrator fucking speaking about Whitebeard as soon as he died gave me fucking more chills than that shit. It was crazy, dude. I'm so glad you picked Whitebeard. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's so fucking cool.
Even after death, his body remains upright. The haunting image of his battered body, which mowed down his enemies, was a sight to behold. The final tally of sword wounds he received in this battle was no less than 267. The number of gunshot wounds, 152. He was struck by cannonballs 46 times. And yet, if you were to look upon the proud back of this great man, you would see that in this battle, and indeed his entire life as a pirate, it remained unmarred by any sign of retreat.
He's the ultimate stand on business.
Isn't that fucking crazy, bro? Just like,
Dude, that's
like
sick.
200 something sword wounds, like 151 bullets, like 47 fucking like
40
cannons or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, never once did he turn his back to retreat. Like that's fucking crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that's gotta
Like,
be like
I'm literally just gonna post up.
it's gotta be like the most on business moment of the entirety of One Piece. I mean, that shit was crazy.
Dude, that's badass.
All right, this was my tournament. So this first matchup, honestly, I had Marshall D. Teach, which was Blackbeard. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's on some hacks right now. Like moments after Whitebeard died, he like it's not like super specific, but I think he ate Whitebeard's heart and somehow gained his devil fruit. So Marshall D. Teach has 2 devil fruits, which like isn't supposed to happen. Like if you eat 2 devil fruits, you're just gonna die. You know, that shit went crazy. I agreed with you about Big Mom or over Jinbei, Kid over Arlong. I had Magellan over Doflamingo because Magellan's power is to poison people, and like literally if he just like touches you, you're like poisoned. He made like Luffy, Ivankov, Blackbeard, and like a couple other people run away in fear from him because they just couldn't touch him, you know? Gold Roger, I had making it pretty far. He is the king of the pirates. I also had Shanks over Law, Sanji over Buggy, Sengoku over Mihawk, because Sengoku was the fleet admiral before Akainu, and one of my major like points for this decision was that Sengoku kind of like employed Mihawk to take part in that war that just happened. And maybe Mihawk's stronger than Sengoku, but we just don't really see him fight. Sengoku also turned into like a gigantic Buddha type of thing. Rayleigh versus Luffy was a tough one because Rayleigh trained Luffy.
Okay.
I think Luffy's at the point now in the series that he's just stronger than him. I had Rob Lucci over Boa Hancock because Boa Hancock's entire power, it's really kind of OP, but Boa Hancock's power is that like anyone who finds her attractive at all, she can turn them into stone, essentially, like a Medusa kind of.
Medusa, yeah.
But Rob Lucci, I just don't think he cares about that shit, so I had him winning. Yeah, Whitebeard over Kaido, Garp over Aokiji because Garp's that guy.
Yep.
I had Kizaru beating Katakuri because Kizaru, his power is that he like controls light. He's like made out of light, which means he's like fast as hell, and he's also one of the admirals. So I think he edges out Katakuri just a little bit.
Yeah.
I also had Fujitora. I also had Zoro, and I also had Sabo.
Nice.
I had Big Mom beat Teach. Kid beating Magellan. The only reason I have Kid beating Magellan, by the way, because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't agree with this, is because Captain Kid's power is like magnetism, so he can control like metal and shit. And if he's punching him with metal arms and covers himself in metal, I don't think he would get poisoned, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, and then I had Gold Roger over Shanks because Gold Roger was Shanks' captain when Shanks was a little kid.
Makes sense.
Also, Gold Roger's that guy.
Yeah.
Sengoku over Sanji because I just don't think Sanji's there yet. Sanji is the cook on Luffy's ship, and he's like the 3rd strongest on the Straw Hats.
Gotcha.
I had Luffy over Rob Lucci because he has beaten him like 3 times, I think. Whitebeard over Garp. That one could go either way, but Garp in his prime was like the Marine who consistently went after Gold Roger and Whitebeard. So like they're all 3 of them are kind of on the same level.
Seems like they'd be on a decent level together.
Fujitora and Kizaru, honestly could go either way. I just like Fujitora better. Just he's just cooler, you know. He's like on the business. Of, like he's like so about the justice. He's like, I can't see an unjust world.
Literally, that's so badass.
I had Sabo over Zoro just because we've seen Sabo deal with some really tough opponents with like very, very low difficulty, and Zoro has also taken on some really tough dudes, but he kind of has to sweat a little bit to get there.
Yep.
Big Mom beat Kid. Technically, Kid and Law teamed up to beat Big Mom, but as a one-on-one, Big Mom wins. Gold Roger versus Sengoku. Again, could be argued because I think Sengoku and Garp were like on the same little squad as Marines, and they like went after Gold Roger. But Gold Roger, like, the only reason he died is because he turned himself in because he was like sick or whatever.
Oh.
And then, of course, I have Whitebeard over Luffy. He's just way tougher, in my opinion.
For sure.
And then I had Fujitora over Sabo. They did fight for a little bit, but it was like time waster type of thing. They were both like not going all out. But I do think so. Fujitora can control gravity. That one could go either way as well.
Right.
I have Gold Roger over Big Mom, and then I had Whitebeard over Fujitora. You saw the clip, I mean.
Yep.
And then just on merit of finding the One Piece and being the proclaimed king of the pirates, I had Gold Roger over Whitebeard. But I don't think Whitebeard like was trying to find the One Piece. I think he was just like doing his own thing. So that one again could go either way.
Of that dude, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if Gold Roger had a lot. I don't really think he had like a special ability. I think he just like really trained his hockey, which is just like being really strong and tough, kind of in this world.
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure because Devil Fruits were like introduced first, and then hockey was kind of the way to like beat someone with a Devil Fruit.
Yep.
So like for example, like you can't even necessarily like someone like Sabo who controls fire. Like he doesn't just control fire; he is fire. So like if you try and punch him, your fist will just go straight through him because he's fire. But if you like coated your fist in like hockey, you could punch him because it kind of negates the effects of that. You know, it just makes them able to be fought again, kind of thing.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to see how in your so I had obviously Doflamingo going to the end, and you had him out in the first round.
Yeah.
And then also there was another one who you had out in the first round that I think I had going pretty far. Oh, Katakuri, yeah. And so Mihawk. It is like, and Mihawk, yeah. So it's like I had 3 going far based off of like vibes and stuff, but yeah, not knowing, obviously you just don't know. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah. And honestly,
yeah, that's cool though.
Honestly, you could argue Doflamingo being over Magellan. I feel like any of your picks, especially in round 1, could be argued. You know, but it's just like who's fighting who type of a thing. Because I do think Doflamingo beats most of these other people, but Magellan was like the first guy who was like, how do you fight this guy? He's
oh yeah, dude.
He kind of has like a little like poison monster guy that can kind of follow him around. He's like he's a jailer.
I could totally see that for sure.
Because I do agree. Because Doflamingo was like maybe the first villain in the show that like scared the shit out of me. It's like, how do we beat this guy? You know, he's just like
yeah. You're just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
he's just going at it.
Yeah, no, so that shit was crazy as hell. Honestly, good picks though. I was surprised by a couple of them. I thought you might.
Which one was the most surprised?
I thought I wasn't sure who you'd pick over Kaido and Whitebeard because Kaido looks tough as hell.
I think that was probably one of the tougher ones, honestly, because they both look menacing as hell.
He can turn himself into like a dragon.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering because I know some of them had a little dragon around them, so.
Yeah. So he can like turn himself into a dragon, fly and shit, and just like be tough as hell. He's like the king of the beasts. He's like, I think after Whitebeard died, he's like the next like strongest guy.
Yeah, well.
Saying thanks for doing the tier list, man.
Yeah, dude, no, this is awesome. I had a blast. Cause I literally came in here blind as hell. And learning a little bit you told me is really sweet. I didn't know they got so in depth. I knew there was a ton of episodes, but I didn't know they had that many episodes. You got to go pretty in depth with the characters. But
yeah, this was fun, man.